All right, and we are live, folks. This is my very first Substack live stream video. So, what better way to kind of kick it off than doing what I normally do as a screen share? And if you can't see it, I might have to redo it again next time. I do have a widescreen monitor, but I really wanted to show the whole jam of what I'm kind of talking about right now. And what that's about is having a system as a second brain, as a personal knowledge management tool paired with AI or an LLM, in this case, Claude Code, for building the foundation of everything that you're doing. I talk to way too many business owners, brand owners, operators, agency owners that are deploying AI, and the setup is just not there. And they have this living in this folder, this living in this drive, this living in this file. And I think I just wanted to make a quick video and stream it on my first Substack stream, showing my system and a little bit the back end as how I'm currently running knowledge. So what you're looking at right here is Obsidian. Obsidian is basically just a free tool that will allow you to have access to files and folders. Everything that we're talking about right now is files and folders. The reason I like Obsidian is because if Obsidian was to disappear tomorrow, I still own all those files and folders. So Obsidian as a company is file over tool. So it doesn't matter. You own everything. Now, what does that mean? So everything that you're seeing here is a folder that has data inside of it that is part of my process of everything that I'm doing, whether it be knowledge base, one business venture right here, another business venture right here, another one, any projects that I'm working on, anything personal for me, potential skills that I want to be able to make and create, my operations and workflows, and any resources and archive. So you could see from a fundamental standpoint, it's all files and folders. So all of these things that you're chatting with Claude or Codex or ChatGPT, anything like that, it's all living somewhere. And I'm going to get a little bit more granular in a second, but I want to talk about the setup. So, hey, Ganesh is here. Hey, can I put you on the, well, I thought I could pull up comment, but Ganesh is here. Hey, Ganesh. So what I want to put you guys onto is when you open up Obsidian, right, you're going to see something along the lines of this. You're just going to see a note. And that's fundamentally what it is. You're able to come over here and write notes and say, this is a note. Here are some more notes and XYZ, right? That's fundamentally what Obsidian is. Now, you could see here when I write a note, it goes in my inbox for processing. The way that I'm using Obsidian as a second brain is I'm pairing it with Claude Code. I'm not using a Claude Code app. I'm not using any other app. I'm natively integrating it inside of here. So I'm going to delete this note for a second because I don't want it to get all messy. But you'll see over here, I have Terminal. So when I open Terminal, this is where now I'm accessing Claude Code from within Obsidian. So let me take a step back. So I'm still accessing Claude Code as if I was accessing it in my native terminal on my computer. So you see here, this is my terminal on my computer. The problem is that when you're accessing on your terminal on your computer, you don't see all the file trees, the hierarchies, anything like that. That is where working inside of Obsidian helps me, because now I'm accessing terminal. So I have the rawest, best superpower for Claude Code, but now I'm able to see all the files and things that I want to affect and if it's generating and adding stuff there. So fundamentally, from a UI UX standpoint, this helps a lot of people. I often talk about utilizing VS Code, which is another way. another kind of tool, and we'll be able to access your files, um, which is fine. But inside of Obsidian, there are connections. And that's where it really becomes more like a second brain. Everyone's talking about second brain, this, that, and the third. So I'll just open up VS Code, which is another tool just to access your files and folders. Here is where it's a little bit different. So inside of VS Code, I can go over here and I can open up my Life OS, which is all the stuff that you saw right over here in Obsidian. Same, see, inbox, reading, all that same stuff lives there, right? So it's agnostic of any tool. So my files and my folders are my files and my folders. What happens inside of VS Code, right, is you're going over here and now you're accessing Claude against these files, which is perfectly fine. I tell a lot of people to use it this way and everything's good. What happens is inside of VS Code, you're not able to connect notes, do link backs or anything like that. So if that's not important to you, this is more than sufficient. For me, what I like is having things connected. So you'll often see a lot of times people will show their Obsidian and they'll show these really crazy kind of graphs, right? And this is the power of a second brain with Obsidian, because now, hey, I have LinkedIn here, I have a hero image here, image stack stuff here, PPC here, Claude code over here, connecting to all these different notes, right? So everything is talking and connected to each other. So that's where you're able to have knowledge base connecting to each other. So for example, if I was to go into reading, which I call it reading, I really don't know why, this is just really knowledge. And if I look under Anthropic, for example, there's a lot of notes inside of here for Anthropic. I didn't classify this. I didn't put these in here, and I'm going to show you how I did that. So if I click on one, you're going to see I'm going to get the title over here, the source link where it came from, who the author is, description, tags, information about the article. But then see these tags over here? This is all relating back to other notes about Anthropic so that the knowledge is all connected. So when I'm talking to Claude Code in the terminal about something, it's able to reference all of these very, very easily because they're all connected. So if I was to go to something totally different, and let's say I went to Stoicism. I think I had Stoicism in here, philosophy. Yeah, philosophy. So Stoicism. You could see over here that it's not connecting to anything related to AI. So only talking about Stoicism. So this is how I'm using Claude Code paired with my personal knowledge management system inside of Obsidian to be able to capture information and scale. So if I was to take a look at something for one of my businesses, let's say I have strategy over here, right? So you can see over here, let's say we're talking about emerging channels. So emerging channels, this playbook is talking about how to grow on other channels for the business. And strategies over here. But you could see it's business hub, but then also a scaling strategy memo. So if I go and click on that, this is another piece of data over here that I did some comprehensive deep dive with a Claude Code workflow on a whole entire strategy. And you can see now this note is going to link back to other things. So you can see it starts to compound on top of each other. And then that's where the data and the knowledge is really talking to each other, and you're getting the most comprehensive way to use it. So, this is how I have it set up because it works for me. Now, you'll notice if I was to go to anything visual, right? So if I was to go to like images over here, you'll see some images when I'm doing anything with graphics. However, I streamline it to be set up through a GitHub backup. And all GitHub is just think of Google Drive for like files. So my Obsidian folders over here, they're all backed up to GitHub. So when I go to my laptop, um, I'm not not seeing all the stuff because it's synced to GitHub. So it's very, very seamless wherever I'm going on my phone, anything like that. I'm able to access all of my files. So that is extremely important for me to be able to have these kind of things. Now, what I want to do is say I can query against Claude Code in here because remember, this is Claude Code in the terminal. So I can say anything along the lines of, um, you know, what skills do I have set up specifically for operator intelligence? Give me the list and then give me a little summary of what each of them would do. Okay. So you can see here, I have my knowledge over here. I can open up multiple terminal windows, right? So I could have this running over here while I work on something else. I like that. So now it's going to say, okay, you have cohort delivery. Here's a lesson plan. Here's cohort status. Here's communication, all this kind of stuff, right? So if I was to say, hey, you save this as a file, as a summary for me, it'll go and do that. So it sees everything, it knows everything, and it just works. And I think that fundamentally, when people really start to build the foundation of where, because too many people I see coming from Claude Code app or moreover Claude chat, and they build out a lot of things, but then they don't see any of it. And they don't see, like, for example, if I wanted to see my skills, I can go right here. I see all the skill. I didn't have to query that because I could see all my skills over here. So I could see all my skills for Gobble. I can click on it. I can see exactly what's inside of it, do a ton of stuff. This works for me. Now, that's kind of personal knowledge management, but then also comprehensively how to use it. But in terms of personal knowledge management, right? What does an inbox mean? So for me, an inbox basically means stuff that I need to do or I want to find out more about, but I have no time to do it now. So I'm going to throw it to the inbox. That's why any new note, so if I go on my phone or my computer and I create a new note, it's going to go to the inbox. But I haven't developed, I've adopted a better strategy for inbox. So if I'm going over here, right, and I see an article, how an AI slop shop is flooding TikTok with pro-war disinformation. I don't know. I just looked up TikTok shop article. So you can see there's a decent article over here. And let's say I don't have time to read this, but I want to capture this in my knowledge base because maybe I want to talk about something about AI slop. Maybe I just want to reference it, right? So what I have here is an Obsidian plugin that's going to grab and capture this, add it to Obsidian, and it's going to automatically add it to my inbox. So you can see right here, if I click on this, now this grab the title, grab this information. Typically, it's supposed to grab the whole entire article. But on this example, maybe because there's a paywall, it wasn't able to do that, which is fine. So we'll go and grab another one just to show an example. And a lot of these sites, what they'll do is try and paywall and stop you, see like these kind of things, which is fine. But I want to pull up another example just to show that. So Retail Dive. So QVC 40th anniversary. Any paywalls here? No. So let's grab this one as well. So you can see throughout the day, if you're coming across things, see now this one grabbed this more comprehensively, right? And then let's say I was to come to a YouTube video, still works with YouTube as well. And it works really, really, really well. So, okay. So Nate Herc is talking about 6 AI skills now. Learn these 6 AI skills. Cool. He's a great, YouTuber, really great content. I have no time right now, right? But I want to capture that. So you can see now it's able to capture all of this. So the YouTube link, description, all this information, the transcript. So it captures fully his transcript. Everything is right here. So now what happens is, and let me clear this out. What happens is every night I have an automation that's an inbox sweep. So what happens is everything that's in my inbox at 11 o'clock at night, it's going to run and process it. What does that mean, process? So it's going to go through everything in here and file it away into my knowledge base and link everything back and get everything into that second brain. So if you know, let's say this is important for your second brain and this is important for your second brain, right? Um, you're just going to have the information inside of there. So I'll show you what that looks like. Um, in my inbox, I want you to perform inbox sweep, but only on two of the notes in there, one for the AI slop shop and one for QVC. And I want you to give me the report before you actually move everything. Now, what happens is typically I don't have to ask this. It's just going to move it for me, but I want to show you what that looks like. So I'm running the inbox sweep right here. So it's finding the both notes and it's going to read them along with the inbox sweep skill to run the proper analysis. So based on my knowledge base over here, it's going to find a place to put it that makes sense and link back or develop a new place to house it. That's part of the librarian. The librarian is integrated in the skill to do all those kind of things for me. Okay, so now it's reading everything, it's looking at things over here. So imagine this is happening. You threw a bunch of stuff throughout the day in your inbox. You want to capture it, but you don't have time to read it. You don't have time to do anything like that. So that's what this is going to do. And now you're going to capture all that knowledge. So sweep reports, so fully digested over here. It's going to go, this one's going to go under TikTok shop, right? Because I have TikTok shop here, but that article is not in there yet. So it's going to add it over there and it's going to cross link accordingly. And then, oh, that's for QVC. Perfect, right? And then for AI slop, do not route yet. So it's a broken clip, right? So leave it in the inbox until, so the source didn't pull properly, so it's not going to do it, which is fine. So I'm going to say, okay, process and move the QVC note, but go ahead and delete the AI slop shop one since that had some issues. I'll worry about that another time. Just delete it for now. So you're going to see it's going to go through there and this is going to disappear from my inbox. But then TikTok shop, another one for the QVC, is going to come over here. So remember, QVC is talking about this. No notes linking back, no anything like that, right? Because I just brought it into my inbox. It wasn't triaged just yet. Now, what's left is the YouTube video because I didn't process that one yet. But then the QVC is now here. So it's going to give a TLDR. It's going to give key points, why it matters. And then it's also talking about how to scale. So it's linking back to how to scale right over here, which is also going to link back to, actually, no, that one's not going to link back, but the other one will link back to it. So you can see I just brought that in from 2 clicks. So now I have that information inside of my second brain without even really doing anything. So now I want to show you this one too. So he's talking about 6 AI skills, right? So maybe, for example, let's say, for example, he doesn't give away the skills, which sometimes happens, right? So if I go over here to his YouTube description, so his courses, months, so he doesn't really give away the skills, which is fine, right? But what I've done is set this up. So let me show you this. Okay, now I want you to process the YouTube video that's in my inbox. But also I'm showing this off in a demo video, so I don't want you to just process it normally. I want you to do everything how we normally do it, but showcase everything that we're doing through the Gobble, ingesting, librarian, and then the Skillify. I think this is something really valuable for Skillify based on the content. Again, I'm just telling really exactly. You wouldn't see all this with the skill set up. It would just process without you. But it's a great one to showcase. Let me read in the source note. Then it's going to gobble, librarian, skillify, narrating each stage for the demo. So it's important because Gobble is taking the piece of content, which is a giant transcript, and then breaking it down to the TLDR, what you need to know, key points, because you don't need to have the whole entire transcript. Librarian is then going to file it away in the knowledge management system But Skillify is going to extract any skills that it feels it can create to help you from the piece of content, which is huge because now you see this video over here, 6 skills. If you didn't give the skill, now it's going to make those 6 skills. Technically, it's going to make those skills for me, right? So vault scan done over here, and it's going to say routing plan. So reading AI business. So it feels that it's going to go into AI business because he's talking about, Nate talks a lot about using AI and using it for business and growing. So reasoning, digested external video, reading material, same author. So previously, this was a Nate Hurt video. So it's relating that to business. Okay. So cross links and where it's going to link back to with other relevant pieces of information or anything like that. But the big thing, right? So you could see over here, it didn't just bring it in over here. It just remade it with the TLDR and the 6 skills, right? Quotes worth keeping, why it matters, according to me and my business. That's how it's built out. And then anything related, it's going to link to it. Now, it's the notes written, stage 2, librarian. Wire the new note into the graph so it's reachable, right? So it's going to go and do that. So now it's going back over here to link and wire everything in terms of what's related to it, right? Which is fine. But the big one for this is Skillify, because Skillify is now you can capture with your personal knowledge management system, you capture limitless content on YouTube and really make it into actionable skills for you and your business. So now this is a way to get knowledge into your system, but also make it actionable, right? So stage 3, Skillify, the 6 skill framework is a natural reusable blueprint, right? Invoking the extraction. Source already in context. So let me check potential skills for any overlap. So potential skills is right here. So these are any skills that I've extracted that I haven't used just yet that I might want to use. So I like that it's going to go and see in the potential skills if there's any of skills already sitting here that overlap with the 6 that it plans on generating. So there's no duplicate, right? The 6 holistic ones don't exist. Here's the blueprint, right? So now it's going and making me the 6 skills that he was talking about in this video without me doing anything. I can just save hundreds of YouTube videos every single day about how to do this, how to do that. And my system is going to process them for me and give me the knowledge linked into each other. So my second brain is working, but then also extract any valuable skills. So you can see here, pipeline complete. So Gobble did this. Librarian did this. Stage 3 Skillify did this. Okay. So it wrote '07 potential skills, AI role future proofing audit. So AI role future proofing audit. So right over here, this is the skill based on that, based on the video. So you can see over here, I thought it was going to give 6 skills. But if you notice, it gave 1 skill that has different lenses inside of it. And that's where the 6 lenses are. So it's interesting because it didn't give you just 6 skills haphazardly. It actually comprehensively gave you a skill that's doing all 6 of the lenses. So be the AI person, taste and judgment, context engineering, not prompt, all this sort of stuff. So now if I want to, I can go over here and then I can roll this out into a usable skill. So source note, blueprint is sharp enough to promote, runnable skill over here. Want me to draft that as a bonus stage for the demo? Sure. So now it's going to say, okay, it's a sharp enough blueprint. Should we then make it an actual skill? Which means it's going to go over here and put it into a skill. So this is an AI role future-proofing audit. So right over here at the top of my skills, it's going to make it, and then that's going to be a skill that now I can then use, right? So this is fundamentally the best way for you to ingest information. So many people I'm talking to every single day, they get a little bit of here. It's on Google Drive. It's in my email. It's on YouTube. This is a really good video. I have no time to watch it, or I watched it, or I spent time doing this and I forgot to take notes, and there was a skill somewhere in there, but I didn't get it. So now you can see it's already registered and loadable. So right over here, Now the skill is fully made out. So I didn't do anything. So that video didn't give me any skill to download. My system found value in it and was actually able to give it to me. So we did the full arc demo, Gobble, Librarian, Skillify, and promoting it to an actual skill. So you could see that it just makes sense, right? So when you have the foundation here, you're able to build and it compounds on itself. And I think that's a big area where a lot of folks are kind of lacking is they don't know what to do. So let's say you don't work, let's say you work a 9 to 5 job and you don't want to bring in your business in here. You can still have inbox, reading, projects, me, potential skills, vault operations. You can still have all that. Now, let's say you own a business. Well, that's venture number one right here. And let's say you own a business and you consult on another one. That's number two. So now you're building that out. So if I was to go and do anything for operator intelligence and I say, oh, I want to run another cohort for TikTok, well, guess what? It's going to have all the knowledge that I've stored over here for TikTok that potentially I wanted to relate to when building out anything for my pipeline. So, yes, you can go and query it and have it search the web and stuff like that. But I think fundamentally, this is a better way to bring in the information. I think the YouTube ingested. I don't know. The fact you could bring in YouTube videos like that and turn them into skills that reflect you. Now, you notice it checked to see if there was any skill already. It also will check if it's valuable. So if it can make it a skill, but it's not valuable to you, it's not going to do it because it's smart, because it makes sense, right? So again, I just wanted to hop on really quickly to show you guys this. And I really honestly feel that the more time people spend in building out the foundation and then parlaying and building on top of it, it's going to just help. Because there's so many things inside of here, like under Aspie, my main business, where if I have like SOPs, right? If I have like Substack stuff. So for example, in operator intelligence Substack, right, which is what we're on right now, I have a whole bunch of stuff over here. So I have drafts over here, drafts for free ones, drafts for paid that I can go through and see comprehensively because I have skills that are going to pull knowledge out from my knowledge base and help me draft up publications. So you can see over here, I already have one running that we're doing right now that we're talking about, which is my Aspie OS, right? So comprehensively, it's going through this and giving like, okay, what should we do over here? What should we talk about? So I'm probably going to be using this with peppering in for the video when this goes to a publication. But, I also told Claude inside here, I said, hey, my whole system that I just demoed for you guys today, how can I share that agnostically as like an Aspie OS where it's sanitized and clonable for my setup and it's agnostic for anyone? Right. So it went and analyzed my whole second brain system and gave a stripped down version that I can share. Right. So now that's the whole process of doing something once and then you're repeating it. So I did this whole thing once. Sure, I'm going to expand on it. There's going to be different iterations of it. Right. But now if I go to Aspie OS under the draft over here, it's talking about I stopped taking notes. Now my second brain files itself. Right. I also had it make a GitHub repo for the whole system, the 11 folder structure right here, right? So if I was to go to public repo right here, which is this, and I didn't do this, right? This is just what Claude looked at my setup and said, cool, well, here it is. So my inbox, my reading. So reading under here, there's nothing in there because you're just getting started. So venture one is my Aspie, but nothing over there for you. Anything about me, nothing there. That's just the raw essentials of my setup, right? And it did all this for me. Second brain files itself. This is the Obsidian Claude code system I run my businesses on, packaged as a starter so you can clone and make it your own. The idea is simple. You should never take notes by hand. You throw raw material at an AI steward and it structures it. The repo is a method and a working starter, and then the method in one screen. 11 numbered folders, everything right here. An AI librarian, not a chatbot. The link gate, maps of content, a closed tag vocabulary. So quick start. Just set this up over here. What's inside? 10 starter skills. So it comes with Gobble, Skillify, Librarian Sweep. And then the operator skills, operator capture, operate overnight ops, automation migration audit, and all this stuff right here, right? So make it yours, tells you how to make it yours, rename the ventures to whatever you want. 2 rules. The real vault is private. Back your real vault is private. Back it up to, oh, okay. I thought I was talking about mine. It's just saying agnostically. So yeah, that's it right there. So I might share this as well with you folks that are watching this to see if it's valuable and to see if you could deploy it on your own. And it just makes sense. So if you're watching this video and you got value from it and you're like, cool, I like that, John. How do I do that? Well, I already did it myself. And I just told Claude Code, hey, take everything I have and just strip it down. And if I want to share it with folks, how can I share it? So that is what it is. But I'm going to stop. We're half an hour now. I got to take a break and get back to some stuff. But appreciate anyone that was hopping on for the live, anyone that's watching the replay. I hope you're enjoying it. I like to do these kind of screen share videos. I'm probably going to be doing more of these. I'm very demonstrable when I do things. I think there's a lot of value in that. I'm a visual learner, and maybe there's some folks out there as well that rather see someone do it versus just talking about it. But until next time, guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you then.